Hello boys and girls, and welcome back to RogueFluff's hard mod leveling guide. Today we have a special episode. It's gonna be level 25 to 30, but as we saw in the last episode, Rupture and basically Bleeds on Assassination build is massive, so I decided to try and solo Shadowfang Keep with my crappy green and blue gear. I'll just let you enjoy it. I will stop for the bosses so you can see the basics for how to fight them. The first boss is relatively easy. He doesn't have a very large health pool. Be sure to have all your cooldowns ready, your evasion and your Crimson Vial, and be sure to use them at the right time. In terms of rotation, I shadow step to him and start with Mutilate. Then I add a Hemorrhage for the extra 25% bleed damage, then Rupture, and then after I build up combo points, I will Envenom. I will use Crimson Vial just as he strangles. From this point on, the ads are a bit harder to kill. They have bigger health pools, so you have to stop and recuperate between every fight. You can use your foods, you can use your bandages, you can use pretty much anything you want, cannibalize. You have to remember that none of the creatures in these dungeons are sappable. They are either ghosts or ghouls or whatever, so you do have to make sure you pull the amount of creatures that you can kill at any given time. For the next boss, it's pretty much the same thing. Wham bam slam and dank. I don't have all my cooldowns ready. I should have waited for evasion, which would have made the end of this fight a bit easier. But you have to understand that with bleeds, you pretty much pass your target's armor. So I don't really care how tough he is to hit for like white damage or regular hits. My bleeds do cause a massive damage, and eventually I take him down. Be sure to pick up all the ads, as we do get a lot of cloth, mainly wool, wool cloth that drops here, so yeah, that's worth quite a bit at auction house. For the next boss, the Hybris was building, and I did wipe here once and had to run through the dungeon again because I didn't wait for my evasion to be up. So I had to run back in and wait for all my cooldowns to reset, and then use the evasion at the right time and avoid the area of effect poisons and use pretty much all the cooldowns I have. But eventually I do manage to take him down with the bleeds, again surpassing his armor. We move on, continuing to take down all the enemies and take all the chests. There are some nice drops here that will later on sell nicely at the auction house. When fighting these pairs of ghouls and casters, be sure to kick the casters at the right time and take them down before the ghoul. You could pretty much avoid the ghoul damage with your evasion if you need to. Yeah, we continue on collecting wool cloth and collecting nice drops. If you pace yourself, there isn't really much of a resistance here. So the next boss is relatively easy. You just need to make sure you use your kick at the right time. Move away from the freezing AoE, and yeah, he goes down quite easily. I'll just go over the rotation one more time. You go into stealth, you start with Mutilate, you then use Hemorrhage for the extra 25% damage, then Rupture, then build up your combo points again, then Envenom, then again and again. Basically, if you go through one of these rotations, it should be enough to take him down. And we're down to the last boss. He has a bit of a bigger health pool, but he is quite easy to take down. You have to wait with your evasion for his ads to spawn. Don't use it for his magic abilities. Try to kick when he casts an interruptible spell. which is pretty much none of them, as I figure out. At this point I use evasion, take down the ghouls, and then finish him off. That's pretty much it. Shadowfang Keep soloed at level 25-26, and yeah, with crappy green and blue gear. We do find some nice drops here, and they will sell very nicely at the auction house later on, as we will see in our later episodes. We shall head back into town now and continue from there. One last thing about Shadowfang Keep, there is a quest that you can pick up at the Undercity with your rogue trainer. Basically he wants you to pick up stuff at Shadowfang Keep, and you get a nice little dagger for it. Yep. You do have to hand in this quest in Orgrimmar, so you will have to go to the Zeppelin outside near Brill and catch the Zeppelin there to Orgrimmar to finish this quest. After that we return to Hillsbrad to finish up another little quest line, squeezing out some green goo and basically waiting for a queue to the random battlegrounds, as I want you to see perhaps a nicer battleground than we did see the last time. We find ourselves at the battle for Gilneas, another map where you have 3 control points this time. The closest one to you, if you're a horde, is the mine, the middle one is the waterworks, and the one closest to the alliance is the lighthouse. Again, you have to capture the flag and then defend it. I do pick up the enrage here, but by the time I reach the enemy camp, everyone's gone, so I just go and look for a new target. As I see that my team has got the mines and is working the waterworks, I decide to poke the lighthouse, and I see that there's only one hunter there. I quickly sap him and start my opener, mutilate, hemorrhage, then rupture. By the time he manages to get out of my stun, he's down and I manage to cap the flag. I end up quickly dying after this, as I am at half health and I don't manage to stealth fast enough, but that does cause the enemy team to shift their focus back to the lighthouse. This does cause them to split their team and they end up sending only 3 people to the mines. I managed to defend them by sapping one target and applying as many dots as I can to the other 2. Meanwhile, our other friendly teammates spawn and help defend the mines. Eventually we do win this battleground and we get a badge of honor, which replaces honor points that were the currency up until now. Badge of honor, you get 1 when you win a battle, plus you get a crate of some nice goodies. By this time our team is split up a little bit, which is probably due to the fact that we are ahead in resources, which causes people to kind of wander off. People don't like staying and defending. What you really want to do in Battle of Gilneas is pick up 2 flags and just defend them. Split your team to 5 and 5 and just defend. Don't fight on the roads and don't try to poke the enemy team if you already have 2 bases. So the fun part of being a rogue is that you are unpredictable, and you can say that you should not poke the other team and then go and do just that because you're a rogue. So that's the whole point of being a rogue, isn't it? So let's see what we got. Oh yeah, we got a nice ring and it rolled upgraded. Oh, that's nice. And here's our little badge of honor. Keep that. We're gonna buy some PvP gear with that. Hang on to it. So, while we're back in Hillsbrad Foothills completing the Green Goo questline, I want to talk to you a little bit about the battleground that we saw. It is a good idea to enter these battlegrounds when you are level 28 or 29, or later on 38 or 39, because as I understand the new battle groups are of 10 levels, meaning people at level 10 to 20 will fight together, or rather 10 to 19, and then 20 to 29, and then 30 to 39, and so on. Meaning that although you have an aura which pretty much makes sure stuff is leveled out, there is still a very big difference between a level 20 player and a level 29 player. mainly in terms of his health pool and also in terms of your hit chance. I know this is a stat that does not show on your character anymore, but there is still a matter of what is the chance of you hitting a high level creature. And that does count for Battlegrounds as well. So if you're level 20 and someone from the Alliance is level 29, his portrait will appear red. And although you might have stats that allow you to pretty much fight him on a same level in terms of damage, you will still have a very low chance of hitting him, and that will, well, that'll end up badly. Our look for group finally finds us a group, and we find ourselves in Gnomeregan. Gnomeregan is the city of the gnomes that was taken over by troglodytes. It's a long instance, and if people don't know how to go along about it, it gets even longer, and we get lost because our tank doesn't know the way and we keep losing him. We end up losing the tank because he decides to drop the team, and well, I never liked this instance. I mean, seriously, we've fought this fucking place for so many times. We've killed the troglodytes like a million times that I know of. Can't you get your fucking city back? I mean, all the gnomes are like level 100 now. They're gonna be level 110. Can't you get like your shit together and go get your town back? Like, why do you have to live with the dwarves now? I don't know, maybe you just like living with the dwarves. Anyway, we don't get any interesting drops here, but we do manage to ding level 30, so that's nice. At level 29 we did get Cheap Shot, which is a new ability from Stealth. You get to stun the target for 4 seconds while you can still apply damage, building combo points, hitting him, and pretty much do whatever you want for these 4 seconds. At level 30 we have a new tier of talents, and we are going to go with Shadow Stalker. The plus 20% movement speed and plus 50% damage from Stealth will be a nice opener with our Mutilate. This will give us a 50% extra damage on our opener. You could go for Subterfuge if you're going PvP, because that will allow you to cheap shot someone even if you broke your stealth. And in terms of damage and pretty much rolling damage as you level, like in this hard mode, I would suggest going with Shadow Stalker. And I think that's pretty much it for today. We are level 30 and a little bit. We will continue with this quest the next time. Thank you very much for joining. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment and subscribe. RogueFluff out.